Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a mystery thriller film, DRISHYAM. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a newly transferred police officer to the Pondolan police station. He notices the guy in the prison cell staring in a daze. The police recognize him, but the officer responds that appearance can be deceiving. He proceeds to point out what the guy has done is unbelievable. The guy stares at the ceiling with eyes hit like a ton of bricks. Then a flashback appears. The husband is a 4th grade dropout, but a reputable owner of a cable business. His love for movies is visible when he criticizes an action film, for the scene is full of unnecessary effects, but nothing is happening. The husband's assistant trolls him with a suggestion that he must make a movie so that the world can see him. Fortunately, the husband has ironic humor that deals with his assistant. On the same day, the husband visits the hotel diner and notices a problematic old couple. The husband asks the owner, Uncle Diner, about the situation of the old couple. Uncle Diner reveals that the arrogant inspector, Officer Ubley, illegally arrested the couple's son because the son failed to pay a debt from Officer Ubley's cousin. Thanks to his film addiction, the husband explains to the couple that they can appeal to court through the privilege of the writ. He believes that the court will release their son because of an illegal arrest. The husband comes home in the morning to eat breakfast with his family. During the meal, his wife complains that the husband doesn't have a sense of responsibility to his family. He would rather watch movies in his office than go home. To spend time with his family, the husband agrees to have a vacation trip with his family. Their family date goes smoothly, especially with Beauty, their teenage daughter, and Fat Baby, their youngest child, enjoying the fun-filled adventures. From shopping, eating, and movie marathons, there seems to be no storm that is about to happen. Not until Beauty informs her dad that school selected her to join a camp and eventually asks him if she can go. As a supportive father, the husband agrees, reminding her that knowledge is not found only in books. As the family comes home, they have lunch with Beauty's grandparents. Weirdly, a social worker suddenly informs the husband of a suspended stone quarry project 15 kilometers away. The next day, Uncle Diner introduces a contractor who works at the proposed site for the police station. Officer Ubley suddenly appears and interrogates them if they saw an old couple the other day. He also assumes that a fellow taught them some legal lessons. Uncle Diner denies seeing the old couple, so Officer Ubley turns his arrogance to Uncle Diner. His superiority complex strikes. He claims that Uncle Diner should give him a commission since he lets the worker eat there. The husband cunningly responds that the hotel diner is the only place the workers can eat, so the commission isn't necessary. Officer Ubley talks back with his police card. He can easily tell the workers to stop eating in the diner. A senior cop enters the scene to have a cup of coffee, who happens to know the husband because of his good reputation. The husband grabs the opportunity to tell the senior cop about Officer Ubley's shitty behavior. The humiliation Officer Ubley gets from the situation eventually becomes the root of his madness towards the husband. Back to his home, the husband is digging a pit for compost when the wife invites him to join a sage sermon on October 2 and 3. The husband refuses to go, but she insists that they need to go all together. The playful siblings interrupt them, so the husband asks Beauty how the camp goes. Beauty tells them that camp was great fun and there were kids from VIP families. One of them is Playboy, a perverted kid who maliciously takes videos and photos of girls, including Beauty. Her parents ask why she did not complain, but Beauty reassures them that the advocate's daughter already scolded him. Officer Ubley then appears with another arrogance in his pocket and threatens the contractor. He declares that the contractor shouldn't complain about his treatment, or else the contract will have his dismissal. The husband rescues the contractor, saying that dogs like Officer Ubley have their day. As soon as Officer Ubley leaves, Uncle Diner warns the husband of the trouble he might get into. However, the husband just shrugs it off, believing he is in the right position. Night comes. The husband watches an adult romance film. It's an unusual routine since he decides to go home, having the excuse that he has a headache. The excuse runs well when he comes home and plays a hormone game with his wife. After breakfast, the wife asks Beauty if she can go to the market to buy some stuff, which she gladly obliges. Playboy disturbs Beauty's peaceful walk from the market by showing the video clip of her sexy bath time. Playboy eventually blackmails her. If she doesn't meet him later that night, he will publicize the video. The poor Beauty feels traumatized, but she's smart enough to tell the wife what happened to her camp trip. The stormy night comes. As Playboy enters the outhouse, the wife switches on the light. Playboy shows the wife the video. She inevitably cries for her daughter's demise. They are running out of luck when they unsuccessfully try to steal a phone away from Playboy's grip. As a caring mother she is, she kneels and begs Playboy to delete the video. He agrees, but only if the wife gives what he wants. Right then, Beauty's braveness comes out of flight. she grabs a metal bar to hit Playboy on his head. She's crying with relief and tension when she notices that the Dementor has fallen. Then she immediately crushes his phone. The wife approaches Playboy, but unfortunately, he dies due to internal injury. Beauty tries to call her father, but unreachable at the moment because he's watching a runaway-themed movie. In an attempt to cover up their crime, they encase the body and bury it in the compost. Fat Baby wakes up because of the two's commotion. She dumbfoundedly stares at her frantic mother and sister, witnessing how they hide the body in the compost. The husband comes home in the morning. He's confused when he notices the muddy footsteps in the hallway. The siblings instantly hug him while he glances at the wife's grieving state. They tell him what exactly happened last night. The wife expresses her fear and suggests they need to inform the police. The husband refuses, saying Beauty's life is at stake and he will not let anything happen to them. Beauty finds Playboy's car key and gives it to the husband. The husband goes to the outhouse to find more evidence. He spots the Playboy's SIM card when Beauty and the wife start to clean. Suddenly, his addiction to movies reminds him of SIM card tracking by intelligence agents. He then decides to bring the SIM card with him while locating the car. Before he leaves, he instructs them to make the house appear as if no one is home. He also reassures Beauty that she will not go to jail because he's still alive. As soon as the husband finds the car, he drives off without noticing Officer Ubley's presence on the same grassland. The husband buys a second-hand phone to place the SIM card and eventually throws it into a tanker. Thanks to the social worker who informs him about the quarry, he gets an idea of where to get rid of Playboy's car. He then drives towards the quarry and pushes the car to the lake. At home, the wife informs the husband that Playboy is a spoiled son of a tycoon father and a tough mother who is a high-ranking police chief. Knowing that Playboy's powerful family might chase them, the husband comes up with a perfect alibi. Using his knowledge from watching films, he plans to make it appear that his guilty family attended the Sage sermon during the day of Playboy's disappearance. The guilty family then packs their bags and goes to Panagy, the venue of the Sage sermon. He instructs his family to tell anyone who asks them that they will come to the Sage sermon, as they will be absent from their house for 2 days. The husband reminds them to keep all the bills from their trip when they get to the hotel. His family is still in fright, so he tells them that fear is the last piece of evidence that the police can gather. After several days, the police chief investigates her son's disappearance by tracking his phone. But unfortunately, the police can't trace it. The chase begins when young swimmers catch sight of Playboy's car under the lake. Frustrated upon seeing the car, the chief tells the police not to spread the news. Officer Ubley testifies that he saw the husband approaching the yellow car. However, other cops do not believe his ugly and smelly bullshit. For them, Officer Ubley is either lying or mistaken because they know that he and the husband are not on good terms. But this does not clear the husband from their suspicion. Officer Ubley and the other police officer visit Beauty's school and interrogate her. She has consistent statements about her family's bond in Panagy to attend the Sage sermon during the day of Playboy's disappearance. Shortly after, they proceed to her house and investigate the husband and the wife. The scared and trembling wife accidentally spills their alibi without the officers asking yet. Officer Ubley smirks as he detects her mistake. Fortunately, the husband comes with an alibi, telling them that Beauty is pressured about their investigation. They also present the receipts of their expenses during their trip to Panagy, so they can convince the officers that they went there. The officers wonder why they kept the receipt, so the husband says that they are keeping it to track their expenses and save money. Meanwhile, the police chief already feels agitated, pointing out that the husband is a 4th-grade dropout, so he must not be cunning enough to lie. She orders the police to bring the family for another interrogation. The police illegally arrest the reputable family, pushing their friends and neighbors to enter the station's gate. Then again, the family has consistent answers, but the police chief gets suspicious with Fat Baby's rational statements despite her young age. The police chief orders Officer Ubley to bring all the people involved. They start with the husband's closest colleagues, Uncle Diner, and the husband's assistant. Second, the lodger whom the family met at the hotel. Third, the hotel owner, whose management is commended by the family. Fourth, the film operator, who encountered the family during the movie Getaway. Fifth, the first conductor, who billed them for free. And lastly, the second conductor, who had a great bond with Fat Baby. Their testimonies have consistent answers about the family's trip to Panagy during the day of Playboy's disappearance. The guilty family even shared their insights about the lessons of the Sage sermon as proof of their attendance. The police chief calls the Sage. The Sage affirms they might have attended his event since his sermon is unique to every event. Finding nothing from the interrogation, the police officers have to allow the guilty family to go home. Meanwhile, the police chief strongly holds onto her intuition that the husband's family is guilty. So he instructs the police officers to check the husband's background to find a link to his involvement in the crime. The police chief speculates that the first link is the husband's love of film, which allows him to create the perfect alibi. The second link is the family could have watched a replay of the sage's sermon and pretended they really attended it. Another link occurs when the second conductor confesses that the husband stops the bus to withdraw from the ATM the following day right after Playboy's disappearance. The police chief watches the CCTV record, hoping that the husband did not go to the ATM. But the husband appears at the bank stall and even stares at the camera. This confirms that the family really went to Panaji. On the brink of dismay, the police chief has a eureka moment when she can finally link them all together. She then concludes that the family really went to Panaji, but not during the day of Playboy's disappearance. She emphasizes the power of cinema as a visual stimulant, saying that visual memories are strongest memories. She figures out that the family successfully created their alibi by repeatedly reminding the witnesses of their encounter, allowing the witnesses to visualize their memory of it. But the twist is the family made the witnesses visually believe that the memories of their encounter happened during the day of Playboy's disappearance, though in reality, they just went there the other day. Because of that, all the witnesses unconsciously testified that the family really stayed in Panaji during the day of Playboy's disappearance. What's more, the husband showed up intentionally before the ATM camera in Panaji a day after Playboy's disappearance. All of the evidence links to each other and thus helps create the family's alibi. In the end, the police chief realizes that a fourth-grade dropout mocked the whole police department. The next day, they arrest the family to conduct an illegal investigation. The police chief confronts the husband with her deductions of his plans. She interrogates Beauty about her relationship with Playboy. Finally, she uses a question for the wife about the feelings of being a mother. Later on, the police chief orders Officer Ugly to beat the husband just to know the truth. The wife and Beauty get beatings too by Officer Ugly and women cops, but there is still no answer. The poor fat baby has to witness the beatings of cops on her family. Luckily, the tycoon requests his wife to stop when Playboy's friend arrives. The friend confesses about all the sexual crimes of their son with him, including Playboy's video clip of Beauty. They both feel guilty but determined to know the truth, so the beatings continue. Officer Ugly turns to the scared fat baby, but the police chief orders to send the parents away for her to speak. The family thinks that's all for today, but the door closes before them, leaving fat baby alone with the awful monsters. Officer Ugly threatens fat baby. The tycoon tries to convince the police chief that they should stop because they will end up regretful if the family is innocent. He adds the possibility of Officer Ugly's mistake. This triggers Officer Ugly to slap fat baby. In fear, the vulnerable fat baby pleads with him not to hit her, and she will tell what she knows. Fat baby then leads the cops to the body's location. The scene intensifies as they pit the spot, while media and friends surround them. They express to the media their distaste for Officer Ugly's crappy behavior. Later on, a horrible smell arises, making the couple stand up to see for themselves a dead animal. This finally makes everyone believe that the family is innocent. The husband then shares Officer Ugly's violence towards fat baby. Good thing that the bigoted cop, Officer Ugly, ends up beaten by the people. The media becomes a wildfire because of the family's illegal arrest. Court orders a suspension for the involved officers, while the tycoon and the police chief take a leave. Going back to the first scene, the suggestion of the husband as a movie maker happens in reality. This time, the chase and crime seem perfect, with no unnecessary effects. Time passes by, the couple decides to meet the husband to personally apologize. For peace of mind, the couple pleads to the husband if their son is already dead. In the end, the husband hints at their guilt for their son's death. Guilty yet free as they are, the flashback ends. Before the husband gets released from detention, the station officer claims that he made a fool out of the entire police department. No matter what, the station officer believes that they will solve the case and find where the husband buried the body. It turns out that after being set free from the interrogation the first time, the husband secretly removed the body out of the compost in their garden and put a carcass in exchange without mentioning to any family members, including his vulnerable little daughter. In the end, he hid it on the proposed site of Pondolam Police Station, 6 feet under the ground. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.